After weeks of heightened tension and gripping fear, Joseph's brothers were standing in front of him. Vayigash and Judah approached, pleading for young Benjamin's life, begging for mercy. Joseph could no longer maintain the ruse nor his composure. He ordered the Egyptian entourage to leave the room and then announced, Ani Yosef, ha'od avichai, I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? When his father's misery was mentioned, he was overcome by longing for his father and decided to speak openly to his brothers, removing the mask that he had been wearing. Imagine the shock, the utter embarrassment of the brothers. One more time, Joseph declared, Ani Yosef achicha, I am Joseph, your brother. My question this week, how did he really convince his brothers that he was indeed Joseph, their brother, and not Zafanet Panecha, the big cheese in Egypt? When the brothers previously appeared before him, Joseph spoke through an interpreter, and the brothers spoke their native Hebrew. Joseph, after receiving the translation, would respond in the Egyptian dialect of his day. But this time he spoke to them. He spoke to them in Hebrew. Those 5 words uttered by Joseph, Ani Yosef ha'od avichai, he exclaimed in Hebrew. To Joseph, Hebrew was not a 3-letter course. It was not a foreign language to learn like Alexander Hamilton learned Hebrew. It was his Lashon HaKodesh, his holy tongue. It was his mother tongue. Joseph was not merely a sophisticated advisor in Egypt who had mastered a foreign language. He was speaking the language of his father and his father's father, the language that was suffused with the pain and promise of his people, the language that was vouchsafed to him that would become an inheritance and become the language of the Torah. As we begin to make our New Year's resolutions this week, maybe we should resolve to become more fluent in Hebrew this year. Let us use the language of the Jewish people, making the values and visions, the poetry and prose, the tastes and smells of the Jewish people part of our lexicon. After all, we have a little more time. There's great ways to learn Hebrew on the internet. All you have to do is practice. Shabbat Shalom. Happy New Year. Let's learn Hebrew together.